Igor, can you talk about passive response suggestions? I can, because I know I've seen you do this myself, Igor. Can you talk about passive response suggestions? Well, this is a label by Ernest Rossi given to an Ericksonian approach, where Erickson would imply change, but he wouldn't be asking for it directly. He wouldn't be saying, and now this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And in a way, it kind of goes back a little bit to what I was saying about Ernest Rossi and the moving hands. An example of this would be you sit with your client with a high degree of expectation they're going to go into trance. I think that's the prerequisite from your point of view, a high degree of expectation that they'll go into trance. Because if you haven't got that expectation, you will communicate your lack of expectation to the client and it won't work. So first of all, high degree of expectation, they're going to go into trance. Now people go into trance naturally anyway, so many different contexts, separate from a formal hypnotic induction. Just daydreaming, reading a book, writing a letter, watching some TV, listening to music, or just daydreaming, or even thinking, just by looking up and thinking, and pupils dilate, So it's a naturally occurring phenomenon. So the client knows how to do it, even if they don't know consciously how they do it. So what you do is you create a context, or you get them to represent the context where that can happen. But you don't actually give any more information other than that. So passive response, okay, you're not expecting anything to happen that's dramatic. You're not doing anything to trigger something dramatic. No mention of going into trance, really. You're just talking kind of around it. So you can say, let me give you an example. So you can say, you might wonder what's happening right now. So that in itself, okay, triggers the person going inside. And how that can make you feel. I don't know if you feel it yet. Maybe in a few seconds. Maybe in a few moments. I don't know. So you see what you're doing? You're creating this expectancy something's going to happen. But, even within those indirect suggestions I just gave, there's the implication that it will happen. Like, I don't know, means they have to go and find out. Okay. Whether it'll happen yet. Yet means now, implying if it doesn't, it'll happen later. See, again, an indirect suggestion. Will it be a few seconds or a few minutes? Multiple choice. You don't care if it's seconds or minutes, do you? As long as it happens. So the implication is it's going to happen. And I wonder how you feel. I wonder when you will notice that. Not if you will notice that, when you will notice that. You see, so here we're just creating the ambience of a hypnotic state without saying what to do. And you're evoking the trance from inside the client. So they start to fetch it out themselves, because the nature of the way you ask questions gets them to go inside and think, and to be aware. Something is happening. Something's going to happen. And you can even do a little safety net for yourself. You can say, you may not have even noticed it yet. What does that imply? It's already happening, but you haven't noticed it. See, if they're sitting there going, nothing's happening, you're saying you may not have even noticed it happening yet, which makes them go even more inside, you see. So it's lovely. It's very, very nice. So Igor, thank you for that question. I've seen you do this, and you call it something different, I know. So this is about passive response. You don't want an active response. You're just evoking this kind of stillness from inside a client. Of course, I use this all the time, but I use it with other things as well. So